Hey guys, so this is real life. I just got back from my daily walk, so I'm still in my walk-in attire. I'm a little sweaty. I probably have an indent on my forehead. I don't know if you can see it from my ball cap, but I was out for my walk. I came home and I'm like, I need to get these nails shortened. So if you remember, 3 weeks ago, I used the Glitter Bells long stiletto tips and did my left hand. So my hands are both very different right now. And these are just way too long. It's time. It's been 3 weeks anyways. And as we know, you should really get a fill every 3 weeks. Unfortunately, as a nail tech, oftentimes I go about 6, but these are getting long when I'm doing tutorials and practicing. They're getting in the way. I've filed my thumb to a crazy wonky shape. My pointer finger is some kind of weird shape. So I thought I would film today and let you guys see me do my left hand again. I'm not going to do this one because it's still okay. I did it like a week or a week and a half after I did this one, so this one's still okay. So I'm going to be shortening these guys, changing the shape to almond. I'm probably just going to do a full acrylic color. It's just a custom one that I mix. It's pretty much what I usually have on my nails. I have a hair sticking to my lip. I can, again, this is cat hair. Real life, people. This is real life. So yes, I have a custom mix that I always wear on my nails. It's basically some type of a shimmery, glittery, semi-transparent with a little bit of pink acrylic. So that's probably what I'm going to do on my nails because it's the easiest. It's what I love. Like I've always said, I'm a pretty basic chick, so these nails are cool, but they're just a bit much for me, to be honest. I don't really do a lot of nail art on myself anymore. I'm so used to just having the very neutral shimmers, and I love them, so I'm going back to that with this, guys. So stay tuned. Keep watching if you want to hang out with me and do my nails with me or watch me do my nails. And yeah, hang in there, guys. Okay guys, so first and foremost, I'm going to mix up my color. So I'm just going to show you the types of glitters and things that I would use to make this type of a color. So I would use a clear pink or a crystal pink, something that is obviously a crystal clear but has that little bit of a pink tint to it. If you don't have this, it's totally fine because I am going to add a little bit of some pink acrylic anyways. But I do always use this one when I'm doing my own custom color. So I'm just gonna put about, let's say 6 scoops of this, just so I have a good amount. I would always make a little extra. Also, you know what, I'm gonna do 8 because now that I'm thinking of it, whenever I do colors like this on my nails and my clients come in, which they'll be coming in a couple of weeks here, I think less than a couple of weeks, they always ask me for that color, that same color. So always make a little extra of this color so that when your clients ask you for it, you have it on hand. So I've got about 8 scoops in there of the crystal pink. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this custom pink. It's just a pink acrylic with a little bit of shimmer in it. I'm not going to add very much at all, just a little tiny bit. I don't want it super pink. And then I'm also going to add, I'm just grabbing out of my drawer here, some cover pink as well. So I've just got a little bit of a cover pink, just 1 scoop of the cover pink. And then I've got this glitter. Now it is a very fine iridescent glitter. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that when I repotted all of my old glitters, which I have over 500 of them, I did not write the names of them on the bottom of the jars. So I can't tell you where to get this, but I can show you what it looks like if it will focus. It's a very, very pretty iridescent. It picks up all the colors. So the green, purple, blue, pink, even a little bit of gold in there. So I'm just gonna put a little scoop of that in there. And then I've got this one, excuse me, from Born Pretty. It is I think when I purchased it, they called it like a unicorn chrome, but it is not as fine as a chrome would be. So if you look again really close, let me see if I can put this down without spilling and get that to focus. It is not quite a fine grit like the chromes would be. There is some texture to it, so I'll link these below though. So it's a very cool color, so I'm just gonna, or I guess not color, acrylic. So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm just gonna put, again, same size scoop as the glitter. I'm just gonna put the lid on now and give it a little mixy mix and shake around, and then I'll test it and see if it's good enough for me. And I always give it a little extra stir once I open it up. And let's get my monomer. And my brush. And see what we've got so far. Yep, I think that's going to be just right. So I'll just put a little dollop of it here and test it. You know what? I might actually put a little bit more. It's very transparent, so I might actually put a little bit more of that cover pink, and I might actually put a little tiny bit of white in there. A very, very teensy amount of white. Let's see here. Just a little tiny scoop. And a bit more of that cover pink. One more, maybe we'll do one full scoop. And I might put, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more of this glitter as well. So same size scoop that we did the first time. And again, put the lid back on there. Move everything out of the way so I don't knock anything around, and give it another little shake. So tell me below, guys, what brand of acrylic you're using. As I mentioned in one of my other videos, I am looking to switch. Currently, the one that I'm looking at is Young Nails, but if you guys have other ones, or if you are a Young Nails user, I'd love to hear below what brand is your favorite. Okay, so yes, that's looking a little better. Yeah, so you can see it's a little more cloudy, a little more milky. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So this is going to be my new color. I'm going to put a little swatch on top of the jar, and to be honest, I am likely going to make an actually make an even bigger jar of this, because I know I have a ton of clients who are going to want this color, and this will not last. So I'm going to probably make one more in this size of a jar, because I know they're gonna love it. So hang in there, guys. We're gonna get started on doing my nails. So what I'm going to start with first is taking my big old toenail clippers and snipping off the majority of the length. It's just easier than having to use your drill to cut that all down. I am going to try to prevent it from flying across my room, but I don't know how successful I am going to be, because it's hard to do with one hand. And I would say, if anything, if say I wanted my length here, I would put my clippers a little bit above, because it doesn't always cut perfectly, and sometimes it cracks and can go down a little bit farther than you want. I would say just take off a little bit above what the length is that you're looking for. So I'm gonna just stop there and continue on clipping these guys. There we go. So now I'm going to debulk and take the bulk down of all of the acrylic with my e-file. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take the bulk down with my e-file using my cylinder shaped bit. Now, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, anytime I am on a holiday or travel anywhere, I always hit up a supply shop, and one of the first things that I always purchase are cylinder carbide drill bits or e-file bits. And I always purchase 2X coarse. I've even purchased 4X course. Now I know that to most people you are thinking, holy crap, what do you need 4X course for? But I honestly am the type of person, I do not like to waste a whole bunch of time filing my client's nail with the e-file and debulking. It's hard on my wrists, so I like to be able to get through that acrylic as quick as possible, and I find that these are the type of bits that help me to do so. Now I did purchase the KIARA Sky e-file bit, which I will show you shortly, and I will link it below as well, and I really like the shape of that, so I am going to go back in with that one after along the cuticle area just to use that one to get any bit of lifting out. But this here, the bit that I'm using currently right now in the video, is the one that I really like for taking down the bulk. It's very quick, it does not heat up, it takes down that acrylic so fast, so it's a real time saver. And you'll see in a second here that once I got the acrylic coloring off, or the glitter off, I actually noticed that there was a little bit of dirt in there, which is a big no-no. So what happened is the glue and the tip that I placed on obviously had separated a little bit, and I literally was planting tomato plants the day before, so I obviously got a little bit of dirt in there, which you do not want, because obviously you can get bacteria growing and things like that. So I'm glad that I did the nails today or during this video, because I do not want that dirt in there. So I'm going to continue on just using this cylinder bit to debulk. As you can see, it's kind of a pain in the butt to use my vacuum system with my own nails. I have to try to get the hose to sit on my hand, and I'm trying to stay in frame for you guys. So I'm actually going to insert a little bit of a clip of my vacuum system just so that you guys can see how I use, or what I use. I do still use a shop vac. Now it is of course a little on the loud side. Eventually I do want to invest in a oh shoot, I can't remember what they're called right now, but I will link it below. And I'm sure it'll pop in my brain any second here, but they are a little on the pricey side, but they are amazing. Oh, they are called the NOVE FLAIR. I totally forgot and had a brain fart for a second, but they are amazing ventilation systems. He actually custom makes the desktops as well, so that is the end goal. But right now I have been using this shop vac system forever and a day, and I really like it. It still works quite well. The only thing that is mainly the issue is the noise, and the NOVE FLAIR is way quieter. So other than that, I'm just going to continue on through the nail debulking, and then we are going to move into the KIARA Sky bit. Now, once I got to the pinky nail, as you will see in a second, I realized that it had a pretty big crack. I did not even know I had the crack, so I'm just going to take my e-file bit and be very careful in that area, and lightly, very lightly feather the bit over top to remove any of that lifting where that crack was. Of course, you want to be careful when you're working on clients who have any kind of cracks or breaks, because that area will be very sensitive, and the e-file bit will definitely heat up a little bit quicker on those sensitive areas. So just use very light little taps. As you see here, I'm just using very light little taps and brush, sort of like brush strokes, or I guess e-file strokes with the bit, to carefully remove that bit of lifting.
So next I'm going in with the KIARA Sky Bit as mentioned, and I am going to take it up at the top of the nail near the cuticle area to take out any lifting and smoothen things out. I really do like this KIARA Sky Bit. One, for the color of it obviously being rose gold, that's a bonus. Now it is a bit of a finer grit. I believe that it did say when I purchased it that it is coarse. I will double check and link it below. It's either medium or coarse. So I didn't find when I used it on my set of nails when I first did these nails, it was the first time using this drill bit, I didn't think that it debulked as quick or as easy as my cylinder bits, so that's why I still choose to use those ones to take the bulk down. But I do like this one for smoothing out the area where there's any lifting and taking out any lifting. I like the shape of it as well, and it's not as sharp of an edge to it, so you can not worry as much about cutting your clients. With the cylinder bits, they are very sharp on that very tip area. So you do have to be extra careful, and I mean you still have to be careful with this e-file bit of course, but it's just not as sharp. So I will definitely purchase more of these KIARA Sky bits. Again, I got them at the pink chair, and I'm just going to continue on going through all of the nails, taking out any lifting and smoothing out that area. And I apologize, guys, for going in and out of the frame or to the very edge of the frame and just barely keeping my fingers in the camera's view. I was really struggling with that for some reason. It's really hard when you're doing your own nails, trying to twist your hand in certain ways and keep it right in the middle of the camera. So I apologize.
Alright, so after all of that, now as you guys can see, I pointed out there has gotten some dirt, or I have gotten some dirt underneath my nail in between the tip and my natural nail. Obviously, I was planting the other day. So what I'm going to do is actually take my little bit here. So I've got this one for getting underneath and grinding out, because I don't want to take that whole thing off, and honestly I don't really want to have to reform and do all that. So if I can just grind out that little bit under there and get my natural nail out and clean that out, I'm going to do that. Now if it doesn't work, I will have to reform it, but I'm hoping not. So I actually really love this little bit here. I will link them below. I got them on eBay and I love them. I'm now going to push my cuticles back and get ready to shape them. Now the one thing I will say is I really liked the Glitter Bells tips. I actually plan to use them on clients, particularly my long nailed clients, because I'm going to be so pressed for time when we get back to work. I am so glad I bought them, and that was actually the purpose of me buying them, to be honest, because I knew coming back my long nailed girls probably wouldn't have their nails on anymore, or if they did, they might be looking a little janky. So I am going to attempt to reshape these long, so they were the extra long stiletto tips from Glitter Bells that I then cut into coffin shape, and now I am going to attempt to reshape them into an almond shape. It's a little hard for me. If you guys saw my camera setup right now, you would laugh. I've actually posted it on my Instagram, because I don't actually have a proper mount. Ideally, I would love to invest in one of the Archon mounts, because I've heard nothing but great things, and a lot of the nail techs that I know who do videos, that's what they use. But I can't invest in that right now, so I am just using my regular old way, and I will actually show it to you. I will put a little clip in for you guys to see. And then I am going to just smoothen out the growth area. Now the files that I use are from On Vogue, and I absolutely love them. I have not yet in my I think 13 years now I've been doing nails, found anything better than these. They are 100 grit. Now this is a new file, a fresh file, so when I'm going on my natural nail, I'm just being a little light-handed with it. But I love them for working with acrylic. Sometimes they're not that easy to get in stock, but I just can't find anything comparable. So again, if you guys have some amazing files that you use to work with acrylic, let me know below, because I'm always looking. All right, so for my base shape, that is pretty well going to do. So that is going to be pretty much what my nails are going to be like. It's a little longer than my other one, but to be honest, these were really short for me. So I know this doesn't look much longer, but it is a little slight bit longer just with that extra point on the tip. And I actually think, excuse me, I actually do think that my nails look the best with almond shape, my hands. I know people don't think I have sausage fingers, but I don't think I have sausage fingers. I just think I have like old lady hands, to be honest. So I'm reshaping now my pointer finger, and my pointer finger, it grows this way and it also twists that way. So it doesn't sit flat, it twists, turns in, and it bends that way. So to be completely honest, I know most clients, they come in and they'll say, oh, my nail is crooked. I personally, for me, it doesn't bother me that it grows with my natural nail. So sometimes if I'm putting them on brand new, if I was doing, when I did the tips or whatever, or if I'm reforming a whole full set, I will, put it the opposite direction of what it naturally grows. But when I'm doing a fill, for me, I don't really care that much. It doesn't bother me. So I'm just gonna shape it up here as best as I can. Again, blend in that area where I had any bit of little bit of lifting, and take the shine off the natural nail. And then we're also going to go in with a little cuticle bit as well and just get all that dead skin off also. But yeah, I will say that these tips, the Glitter Bells tips, I'm actually planning to buy the shorter almond ones as well, just for clients who don't want them as long as the long stiletto, because the extra long stiletto are very, very long. I took a lot of length off when I did mine. A lot of length. So now the one thing that I will show you on my nail, and this is always with my pointer finger, I have a callus here that, I tend to pick at and be a bad girl. And because of that, you can see the way that my nail kind of grows just in a sort of a weird shape here. So when I actually put my product on, I'll actually push the product out a little bit here just to give it more of that round, oval, almond shape, because right now it looks sort of indented in this way. This side's not too bad, but this side, because I have that little bit of skin that I tend to pick, and I don't know if it's because of the quarantining or whatever, but I have been way worse at picking that piece there. I actually never really used to pick it too bad, but since being off work, I tell you, maybe it's just because I was bored like everyone else. All right, so for me, that is okay. I know that most people would say, oh, Jen, it's crooked. It should be like that. That would be the center. And you're right, but I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to do it like that. Now, the one thing I will mention, and this has nothing to do with the Glitter Bells tips, I did not fit this tip well enough, as you can see. So the sidewall should have actually the tip should have actually come over here. And let me see if I can tilt it better for you guys. So I actually put on too small of a tip and stuck it to, it didn't go all the way to the sidewall. So this side is a lot better. Oh, I just bent that one because I cut it, so just be careful. And, but yeah, that has nothing to do with the tips. That was just me. Application error. So I'm curious for all the nail techs out there who are watching my videos or who watch this video, when you are doing your own nails, do you find that you are as cautious and as particular when you're doing your own nails as you are when you're doing clients' nails? Or do you find that you're a little more laxed and you just kind of wing it and you just kind of do it and don't really care if things are straight or as perfect? I'm curious to know if you are as particular when you do them on if you let me repeat this. It's early, guys, and I haven't eaten and I went for my walk, so I'm a little loopy, but are you as particular doing your own nails as you are when you do your clients, or are you a little less particular and don't care as much when you do your own? I would say I personally don't care as much when I do my own. I mean, I still want to do them well, but I do not like sitting here for 6 hours doing my nails, making sure they are absolutely perfect and straight and this and that and whatever. I can't be bothered with my own nails. Now when it comes to clients, yes. Okay, so here we go. We've got a tip that is wanting to come off, so I may end up having to form this one if I can't get that tip to just stay on there for this application. Let's see if I can be careful enough. This side is okay. It's the other side. So you know what? I might just leave it like that. I'm not going to muck with it too much, and I'll just build on top of it just because I don't want to have to reform that. So I'm going to just leave that guy the way that it is. And I didn't even know I had a broken nail. So as you guys could see when I was filing with the e-file, I have a crack there. So I have to be very careful on this one as well, because it's not sore at all. So obviously it was something that either gradually happened. You know, sometimes you can get a little tiny crack on the side and then it just continues to sort of slowly crack more and more. And if it's not an immediate, you know, hard bang where you feel it, you won't even feel those kind of cracks. I honestly did not know it was even there. I didn't even notice that it felt loose or anything. So good thing I decided to do my nails today, because probably at some point I would have snagged that baby or banged it cleaning or doing laundry or something. I am infamous for banging and hurting my nails when I do laundry. I don't know why. Just laundry, especially going in and grabbing the clothes out of like the washer, out of the dryer. So I'm just being quite soft and gentle on this side because I don't want to cause that to break any further, obviously. Now the easiest thing to do is shape your nails as good as you can before you apply your product, because then it makes applying your product that much easier. So if you can get a good base going and a good shape going right off the bat, you won't have a problem with applying your product well. All right, so that is all I'm going to do on that guy, just because I don't want to muck too much. So really the tips did good. This one had a little bit of lifting, but that had nothing to do with the tips. That was, I would say, the glue. This one's great, this one's great. This one we obviously have a little bit of that separation there, again, but I would say it was the glue that didn't hold properly. And then I just have a break on this guy. So, you know, I mean, they were really, really long for me. I'm surprised that there wasn't any more casualties, to be honest, because I used to wear really long nails, but I have not worn them that long for quite some time now. So Now I'm going to go in with my little cuticle, I call it a cuticle zipper. I don't know what they're called, but it's this little guy right here. This is my absolute favorite drill bit, E-file bit. I always call it a drill and I get in shit every time. So, oh sorry, I shouldn't cuss, but yeah, so it's this little guy. I get them from eBay. Again, I will link everything below. There's like a random glitter underneath my nail. I'll have to, oh, there it comes out. And this is my absolute favorite. So I don't use it on high speed. I only use it on about halfway. And this is what I use to get in there and get all that dead cuticle off.
Now when using your cuticle bits, you do not want to be holding them up and down like this at an angle straight digging into the nail. You want to make sure that you are holding it flat against the nail, otherwise you can cause some serious damage.
And give her a little dusty-roo, and we are ready to apply our primer and our product and get me some sparkly nails. Okay, so I've just got my alcohol, and I actually keep my prep solution in one of these, I don't know what they're called. They're like for a medical lab, or I don't know, meth lab. I'm not sure what they're for, to be honest. But I ordered them because I just find it easier to squirt my solution out. I actually bought 2 of them. I only have used the one so far, but I just bought them on eBay and I love them because they're a great size that you can actually put quite a bit of solution in, so you don't have to constantly refill. And they don't get as dirty as like these guys here. I still have these guys. I actually have just regular alcohol and acetone in these, but like as you can see, the lids get dusty and things like that. You have to clean them. I have to clean them quite often in my nail room, whereas this guy, no problems at all with that. So I'll try to link that below as well. I'll try to link as much as I can. So I'm just basically going in, removing all of the dust, and you know, making sure that everything is good and ready to apply my primer. Getting all the oils off, drying the life out of my skin. You know, that's what we want to do. Okay, so I've got my primer. Now I'm currently still using the Vibrato acrylic line, so I've still got her primer. But again, like I mentioned earlier, if you have a favorite acrylic line, please post it below. Now with her product, you just apply it onto the naked nail, not onto any product that's there. And you don't need to apply it thick. I believe most primers are, to be honest, pretty much the same. You don't apply them super, super wet. You don't want to get it all over the skin. You don't want to be, you know, having it running all into the cuticle area. And I do like to do 2 coats of primer. I do find that I get the best adhesion that way. So I'm going to go in and do another coat. And then, now I will put a little bit here just because we've got that little crack and that gap. And I've got my monomer here. Again, it's the Vibrato monomer. And I'm gonna get my little jar product that we made and start applying. Now again, because I am an impatient lady, I generally do the 1-ball method. Now I'm finding it a little hard to hold my thumb because when I show you how I actually have my camera, you, like I said, will get a little laugh, but there's actually something right here and I can't push my thumb back very far, so I'm trying to be in frame. But I do generally like to do one ball method because I don't have the patience to do other, like several balls of a product. So, but I mean, I usually have to dip in a second time anyways, just to perfect the application. So I'm going to apply my product near the cuticle area, and I'm going to pat it and press it into the cuticle area and make sure that it doesn't slide everywhere. It's super cold in my room right now, so that is not helping anything, but it's windy like crazy out there. We had a huge windstorm yesterday. It was super quick, but it was fierce, let me tell you. All right, so I'm just patting and dragging and pulling that bead down the nail to the tip. And that's pretty much it, guys. Pretty easy. Now, because it's so cold in my room, these are gonna have to go into my little nail lamp just to warm them up, because when you put them in, it's not the UV that does anything, obviously, to the acrylic, but just the warmth from the lamp will help it to cure a little quicker. So I may have some movement while I go to move to the next nail. Sometimes the one that's not quite cured yet will move. So I'm going to just build a little bit better of an apex, because as you can see, it's too flat there. So I'm going to add a second bead right into that apex area, right into the center, and just pat it and blend it to give me that apex that we need. Of course, when you're working on clients, be careful not to get product all over the skin. This is not something that we want to do as a normal practice. I'm excited for you guys to see this color once I put the top coat on, because it's so nice. Even now, I mean, I don't know if you can really pick it up in the camera, but it's got so many little flecks and colors, so it's really nice. Now, normally if the room was the proper temperature, this would already be way curing. Like there would not be a chance for me to be mucking around with it like this. But it's cold as heck in my room right now, so let me just add a tiny bit more here. And then I think that's good. I'm gonna move on to the pointer finger. Now, if you have nails that are what we like to call, or I like to call them, eagle claw nails, where they hook really bad down this way, this would be the point where you would build up your nail. Usually my pointer finger is really actually quite bad, but it's not that horrible today for some reason, and this time it's not that bad. I'm just going in and making sure to get that acrylic lifted up here. I do wish my room was warmer because it's definitely affecting my application, but we are winging it. Like I said, this is real life. I came home, wanted to do my nails, so that's what you're getting today. So this nail does hook a little bit, so what I'm going to do, which I've already done, you can see that it's been built up, it's a little thick here. I'm going to do it a little bit more even, and then after, I'm going to take that under, the one that I used to cut under my nail, I'm going to take that and I'm going to shave out some of that there just to get that eagle claw out.
Okay, so that is what we've got now. I'm just going to go in and shape them once they're all cured. So like I said, I'm going to stick these in the lamp for a couple minutes just to let them harden up, and then we'll get ready to start shaping these bad boys. They look pretty good already. All right, so like I mentioned, I'm going to go in with this guy here and just go underneath, and I'm going to take out that little bit of a hook and perfect everything a little bit more, and then I will go in with my hand file and I will hand file everything up. Now I know most people like to use their e-file to do their you know, shaping, but for me the e-file actually hurts my carpal tunnel more, so I just go in with my hand file, and that's what I do. And it might seem like a lot more work, but it's less painful for me, so that's what I like to do. So just go in with your hand file or your e-file, whatever you prefer, and perfect that shape. And then the next step is we're going to buff them, and then I'm just going to apply my favorite top coat. Back in, give them a little wipe, get that dust off, and put my top coat on. So that's what they look like so far. And get my trusty young nails. So I always do my thumb separately when I'm curing in my lights. I just feel like when it's on the side, even though if the bulbs are on the side as well, I just feel like it does not cure as well. So I always do my thumb for my clients and myself separate. So I'm going to do that one first. And you can see how pretty that glitter is. So that is it, guys. They are done. Now the Young Nails top coat does have a dispersion layer, so you do have to wipe that off. Now the one thing I always recommend with top coat is getting your clients to take their hands out of the light and then just give them a little wave to cool off the top coat before wiping it. I do find that it helps the top coat to stay shiny longer when you do that. So I've given mine a little wave already and let them cool off, so I'm just wiping off that dispersion layer. And then obviously you want to apply cuticle oil. Right now, my favorite company for lotions and oils is the MOODY MARE company. She is based out of Saskatoon,
And this one here called Bish Please, she has such funny names for all of her stuff, is my absolute favorite one so far. I've only tried a couple, but my goal is to try at least one of every. She does have the what are they called? The little pens also. So when I place my next order, I actually want to order one of the pens in every scent just so that I can pick all of my favorites. I do believe she's doing a big restock up right now with the Pink Chair in Saskatoon because they have just opened up. So, but oh, I love this. I could eat it. It smells so good. And here's the lotion. So it comes in these cute little pump bottles as well. I have not opened this one yet because it's ready and brand new for clients when they come. So that is it. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video.
Well guys, thanks again for watching another one of my videos. I know this was a long one and it was a bit chatty, but it was still fun and I kind of felt like you guys were here with me, so I hope that you enjoyed it. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this video with anyone that you think would like it, and if you have any comments, please leave them below, and have an awesome day, guys.